Shalom. Welcome to another video. But before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Wakakodash, a double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, the teachers of Great Stone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the men of the Lord who's pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth. To you, I say Shalom. Shalom to all the Akwat out there who's just sitting back, paying attention, listening, and learning in silence. To you, I say Shalom. The name of this lesson is going to be called The Man of Deception and Wickedness. Right? Now, I just want to play some clips and get into it.
Remember a mysterious fog. Children would run through it. Mothers would try and close their windows against it. For decades, they all had questions, and now we're seeking answers. The United States Army now admits that it sprayed a chemical that contained cadmium, a known carcinogen, on a neighborhood of more than 10,000 people. Critics say this was done with no warning and no consent. Well, tonight we return to the site of that demolished neighborhood and speak with former residents who believe the government turned them into human test subjects. Although the Army admits that the test happened, it is not admitted to harming the residents. News Nation's Natasha Zuvez investigates what was in the fog and why the truth may still be buried.
The fog drifted through the streets like a ghost.
That's exactly what it looked like, a thick fog.
It was summertime and it was hot. We would just run through it as fast as we could and try to just cool ourselves off. They stuck to you.
The spray was so foul as far as the odor. It made some of us have headaches, nausea, dizziness.
That's what I remember. It made me sick.
So I just wanted to so you know what cadmium is and how dangerous cadmium is. So I looked up what is cadmium and is it harmful? And this is what it says. It says cadmium is a naturally occurring soft, silvery, white, heavy metal that is highly toxic to humans and animals. So this chemical that these demons sprayed over this city is heavily toxic to humans and animals. Now it says, though it exists naturally in the Earth's crust, levels have been significantly increased by human activities like mining, industrial processes, and the use of certain fertilizers. Once absorbed, it is retained in the body for decades and accumulates over a lifetime. So this is a known carcinogen, a known cancerous products that these demons spread across this city. Now let me continue to play the video a little bit more.
It wasn't the weather. It was an eerie smoke descending from rooftops, rolling from the backs of trucks.
Regular flatbed truck, but it had a big machine on the back. And it had a big nozzle that really sprayed a fog you couldn't even see through. It was that thick, and it really, we felt it as it would adhere to our skin. And as far as the guys on top of the buildings, they tried to portray them to us as maintenance workers. But
So they had flatbed trucks with heavy machinery that was spraying these chemicals within the city. They also had guys on top of the roof with machines spreading it in the air. So whatever they were trying to do or whatever they were doing, they wanted to make sure that this experiment had its full effect. Right? Now let me continue.
we was like, what is a maintenance worker doing? And basically a hazmat suit. And they had masks and goggles.
In the 1950s and 60s, in secret, the U.S. Army sprayed zinc cadmium sulfide into the air of a St. Louis housing project.
This is in the 1950s when some of you so-called black people were going away fighting in the U.S. Army. You were going abroad killing other people. And as soon as you come home, these same people that you were fighting for were actually killing you. That's how much respect they had for you. But this is not a personal vendetta that these people have against you. This is a curse coming from Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, for your disobedience, right? For your abomination, for your atrocities and iniquities. So this is nothing personal coming from Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. This is a specific result of what you did. Let's continue.
A largely black neighborhood called Pruitt-Igoe.
It was a lose-lose situation for us in Pruitt-Igoe. We were subjects. We were subjects.
They didn't ask for our permission. We didn't ask for them to spray us. My government used me like I was a guinea pig.
If you live in Canada and are tired.
Well, that's that on that one. Now, I want to play another one, very short. Now, this one is for the Tuskegee experiment. Now, watch this.
They'd get treated for their bad blood. Instead, hundreds of poor black men became participants unknowingly in a shocking and truly shameful chapter of American medical history. In 1932, the United States Public Health Service launched an unethical research project to examine the effects of untreated syphilis. The project was called the Tuskegee Study because it recruited 600 black men living in Tuskegee, Alabama. Researchers told the men that they were being treated for bad blood, a term used locally to describe anything from fatigue to anemia. They promised the men free medical treatment if they participated. While 2/3 of the men in the study were confirmed to have syphilis, not one received proper treatment for the disease they had contracted.
So this was a study in which there was no consent on the part of those who were being studied, also deception on the part of the U.S. government.
When penicillin became the recommended treatment for syphilis in the 1940s, Tuskegee researchers scandalously withheld the drug from the men in the study so that they could continue to chart the course of the disease when untreated. Many patients experienced damage to their vital organs and nervous systems.
Listen, man. Listen.
And for some, the lack of treatment led to death.
The great shame of the study is that the men thought that they were being treated. Treatment was withheld from them, even after it was very clear what kind of medical treatment would cure them of syphilis.
In 1972, an Associated Press article exposed the Tuskegee study after one of the participants brought the story to a civil rights attorney.
So, you want to tell me that this man is not the wicked, and you so-called Negroes, you so-called churchgoers, you think this man is going to have a seat next to us in the kingdom of heaven, looking at us like we did you dirty, but your God still saved us still. That is the most ridiculous and stupid statement or idea that you people could ever have. Right? Now, I want to play one more video. I know it's a little bit too long, but I really want to get into this because I want to show you that an Edomite is an Edomite. Esau, Edom, whether you be of the small hatters or just a plain old Edomite, you're still a freaking Edomite. You're still considered to be the wicked. Now, I want to play this video again.
What we mean is the national state of the Jewish people. But if Jews want to come here, any Jew, they're welcome. We embrace them.
Israel touts itself as the only safe haven and protector of all Jews. That is, unless you're black. In 2012, Israeli journalist Gal Gabay set out to discover why the birth rate among Ethiopian immigrants had plummeted by nearly 50% over the previous decade. What she ended up uncovering was a troubling web of deceit, lies, and systematic racism against Ethiopian Jewish women. Gabay's investigation revealed that Ethiopian women immigrating to Israel were being injected with a long-acting contraceptive without their knowledge or consent.
So the wickedness of this man is serious because as long as you are not an Edomite, you're not of that flock or that stock, you're going to get some type of wickedness done to you, right? Because these Ethiopians, these Falashan Jews, right, they went into Israel because I guess he said that as long as you're a Jew, it doesn't matter what Jew you are, a black Jew, a Chinese Jew, whatever Jew you are, as long as you are when you come to Israel, you're going to be safe, but only if you're white. You will only be safe only if you're a white Jew. Now, without further ado on these videos, let's get to some precepts. The first precepts I got for you is going to be Psalms 83, and this is a go-to scripture just to show you who these wicked people are. Now, let's start with Psalms 83 and verse 3. It says, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones." You see, a crafty counsel was taken in that small town where they sprayed cardinium, right? We saw crafty counsel they took with the Tuskegee experiment where they infected these so-called Judites, these Israelites, with syphilis and let them die from syphilis, even though they had medication to preserve their life. They let them die because they wanted to see these men and the woman, because of course these men spread this syphilis to their woman. They wanted to see how these men and these women died from syphilis. That's how wicked and demonic these people are, right? Now it says in Psalms 83 and 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones, right? Who are the hidden ones? The hidden ones are the so-called black Americans who did not know that they were Israelites, right? They were the hidden ones. Now let's go to Psalms 83 and 4. It reads, "They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." So these people, they literally wanted to plot and come together and destroy the remembrance of Israel from off the face of the earth. But too bad it wasn't in their power. Too bad it wasn't in their hands to do this. The Most High preserved a remnant. The Most High preserved a remnant to be saved. So they couldn't destroy the entire population of the Israelites because the Most High preserved a few of us. Now let's go to verse 5. It says, "They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." Now it says they. Are they speaking about only Esau, Edom? Are the Amalekites? No, this is speaking about the entire nation on earth. There's 18 nations on earth, and they all conspired together against the Israelite. That's what they did. They all conspired together to come up against Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai's people to destroy us from off the face of the earth. But like I mentioned, there was a remnant that was supposed to be saved. Now let's continue. It says, let's go to verse 6. It says, "The tabernacles of Edom, you so-called white people, you are the head of this here. this demonic plot. It says, and the Ishmaelites, this goes for you Arabs, because as much as you see what's going on in Palestine right now, there's a small town in Palestine. I forgot what they call it, but the name that they call it, it means black slaves, right? Well, I don't know if those people are Israelites, but just to show you, wherever you so called black people go in this world, they're going to treat you like shit, right? Because even in Palestine, they were treating you like shit, right? So some of y'all people talking about free Palestine, free Palestine. What about free the Palestinians within the Palestinians, those black people who you people were calling slaves, right? Now let's continue. It says here, af Moab, and Moab, this is the so-called Chinese. The Hagarenes, these are Africans. Gebal and Ammon, the Japanese, and Amalek. Amalek is the head tribe of the Edomites, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. So every one of you nation, you guys came together to plot against Yahweh Shem Shai and his people. You guys consulted together to destroy the children of Israel from off the face of the earth, starting with you, Edomites. This is the reason why you guys spray that chemical within the cities, because you don't consider them to be humans. You consider them to be lab rats. And this is the reason why you poke these people with syphilis, using them as an experiment to further your studies. And even when these people were dying and asking for medication, you refuse to give them medication. That's how wicked and demonic you people are. And you people do the same thing today. You people are doing the same thing today with these Native Americans in the reserves, with the so-called Black Americans within your country, the Black people in Canada. This is what you do, right? Now, let's continue here. Now, this is Micah 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity, right? And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. Why is it in the power of their hands? I'll show you. Let me grab this precept real quick. Now, this is Job 9 and 24. This is also a go to scripture, right? It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, meaning power was given to these devils. Power was given to the wicked. Power was given to these was given to these Edomites, so they can go and do what they want to do across the face of the earth. So even though, you know what I'm saying, you guys are doing this wickedness, whatever you're doing, the Most I gave you the power to do it, and the Most I gave you power over the Israelites, because the Israelites weren't listening to the Most High. So the Most I gave you this power so you can punish them. But you will pay for all of this atrocity that you're doing, right? It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? Like I said here, Micah 2 and verse 1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands, right? So the Most I gave you the power, so you can do what? So you can do what you are doing right now to the children of Israel. This is punishment for them not listening to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Right? Now, I did read Job 9:24. So this is Psalms 64 and verse 2. Right? It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, which is you so-called Edomites, right? Because you guys sit, you guys plan, you guys plot, you guys do everything in your power to take down the Israelites. Even your kids, they were born to hate. right? Because this is not a today curse. This is a curse that's been going on for a long time, right? I'm going to read that again. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Who are the perfect? The Israelites. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So when you do this thing, you have no fear, because you know right now the protection that the Most High that's supposed to cover us is not over us right now, right? I mean, you won't destroy us completely, but the punishment that we are going through, the punishment that we have went through, the punishment that these people went through, right? You did that. You did that, man. Right? All these secret attacks. You went into these towns spraying these chemicals with your hidden weapons. And what do? You use this against the Most High people, the righteous, the perfect. To do what? Trying to destroy them. But you cannot destroy the children of Israel, no matter what you do. We are a resilient people. All right. Now let's go to 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. It says, lest Satan, who is Satan? Adversary to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And if you're adverse to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you're going to come against his people. Because his people are going to follow his will. They're going to do his will. And if you're adverse to the Most High, of course you're adverse to his will. Right? So you're not going to want us to do the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So you're going to do everything in your power to keep us from doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is one of the reasons why the earth is polluted. This is why it says in Micah 2 and 10, let me grab that. Actually, right here. Micah 2 and 10. That's why it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. This is the reason why the Most High told us to arise and depart, because this is not our rest. Because if we partake in your system, we are going to be polluted as you are polluted, as your system is polluted, as this world is polluted. Right? So this is the reason why the Most High tell us, yo, don't let Satan fool you, man. It says, for 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know what you're doing. This is the reason why a few of us, the elect amongst the children of Israel, will depart and not worry about this place. In fact, we want this place to go down ASAP. We want this place to sink. Right? Arise ye and depart, because this is not your rest. It will pollute you with a sore destruction. We know this because we have the insight. We have the sight beyond sight. So we can see. Right? Now, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 12, it says, therefore, Salakia. It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. This is the wicked speaking. The wicked is speaking. He's saying, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. Who's the righteous? The children of Israel. They are the righteous, right? So what they're doing, they're lying in wait. They're waiting for them to do what? To inflict a wound on them, to punish them, to spray that chemical on them, right? To inject them with syphilis, right? It says, therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. So even though we have done wicked deeds, we broke the law, statutes, and commandments, the wicked knows that we should be practicing the law, statutes, and commandments. This is the reason why he's saying, for he is clean contrary to our doings, because he knows he's the wicked. The wicked knows he's the wicked. Right? He says he upbraideth us with our offending the law. Right? Let me read that over here. It says, therefore let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doing. He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy, the transgressing of our education. Ah, you know, when you look at the world and the state of the world right now, everywhere you look is pure wickedness. Why is that? Pay attention. In Jamaica, we have this gang wars. You know what I mean? I said, but where it come from? I remember when Edward Seager was in power back in the day when I was a kid. These politicians used to ship guns, and Edward Seager was a white man, even though he was Jamaican, but he was a white man. He was an Edomite. This man used to import guns, lots of them, and give to the people to go kill each other for politics, for one party or another party. This is what they do. Check any country in the world where there's atrocity: the Congo, Rwanda, Haiti. Who's behind all of this, man? A so-called Edomite? Bet you it's a small hat. America. Like, just look at it. You see it, right? Now, let's read. Actually, let me continue here real quick. That's verse 12. Let me see if I could get something in verse 13. He professed to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and he calleth himself the child of Yahweh. This man, he, this man was made to be the wicked. This man actively planned against the righteous of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. He plans against the children of Israel just because we keep the laws of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Listen, he professed to have the knowledge of Yahweh. That's what he's saying. He's saying we profess to have the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. He calleth himself the child of Yahweh. He's speaking about us because we call ourselves the children of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. They know that they are not. Well, they are, but on the left-hand side, right? But the Most High chose us. So because we are the chosen people of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, this man comes with a sword to destroy us. Let me hurry up with this. This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So the man here, him can't change. Him was born to be the wicked. He will die the wicked. So there's no place in a righteous kingdom for this man, except for being a slave. There's none. So even though you Christians want everybody to be saved, this man is too wicked to be saved. Right? This man can't come sit down right next to you talking about Yahweh Ba'Shem Brakata, Yahweh Brakata, Yahweh Shai. No, this man can't do that because him are the wicked. Even if him say it, he doesn't mean it. Brakata, Yahweh Shai. He don't mean it. Right? Now let me jump to this one. This is the final one. Ecclesiasticus 12:16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. Right? Who do we speak sweetly with his lips? Let me show you. This man. What did he say here? What did he say? Let's go back to what he said. Listen.
What we mean is the national state of the Jewish people. But if Jews want to come here, any Jew, they're welcome. We embrace them.
Israel touts.
That's a sweet speech. Any Jew, you're welcome. But is that the case? Because look at what they did to the Phalashian Jews, the Ethiopian Jews. They injected them with a sterile to prevent them from having kids. Pretty much he's wiping out the generations of the so-called black Jews who came across in Israel. They're trying to wipe them out. By what? Stop them from having kids. What kind of wicked, perverse man this is? Let me go back to the scripture real quick. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. What him do? He tell you to come speak sweetly to make you feel like you're welcome, and then he sends his doctors to sterilize you. When they came with the Tuskegee experiment, they think they came and be like, hey, let me do this wicked thing to you. No, they come speaking sweetly. Oh, yo, listen, y'all blood is corrupted because of something that was in the water, in the ocean, but we're here with a cure. We're here with a solution. Let me fix it for you. No. right? It says he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So this man here was born to be the wicked, and he will forever be the wicked. You can't trust him. Don't trust him. You can't. Because this man was born to be the wicked, and he will always be the wicked. Let me grab one more. Baruch 4:21 and 22. Be of good cheer, O my children. The Most High is telling you, don't worry about them wicked people here. Don't worry about them. Cry unto the Lord Yahweh, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. So even though the power was given into their hands, the Most High is telling you, come back to me, cry, beg, plead. And of course you should cry, beg, and plead because you were the ones who went off. You were the ones who disobeyed the Most High and didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandment. Right? It says, for my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. That's where Hawashai. Right? All praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakadash. A double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and salutation to the elect man who's pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth. To you I say, Shalom.